Through his fearless pursuit of dialogue, rock and roll musician Daryl Davis has dedicated his life to bridging gaps and fostering relationships. Daryl has inspired countless minds to confront their prejudices and make positive change in their world. All this from a question he set out to answer more than 55 years ago.
I remember one time as a very young child, maybe 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old, my dad and I were watching TV, and we were watching something on PBS about some people called Nazis. And I remember seeing a Nazi soldier pick up a piece of a cinder block or brick and hit a Jewish woman in the head with it. This was real, this was documentary, this wasn't Hollywood. And I remember crying. And then later on, he and I were watching the David Susskind show. And he was interviewing some people from the Ku Klux Klan. And these guys had on these robes and these pointed hoods and things. And I didn't understand what they were saying either. At that point, I formed a question in my mind, which was, how can you hate me when you don't even know me?
Daryl's passion drew him to the stage and a career in rock and roll music. But the desire to answer that burning question, how can you hate me when you don't even know me, pushed him to activism and a chance meeting with an unlikely role model.
I was actually able to meet Simon Wiesenthal and his mission. It was a big inspiration to me. He started out as one person, and so it's such an honor now to be affiliated with this organization that bears his name.
Attending Nazi rallies, posting bail for white nationalists, participating in the wedding of a Klan member. Daryl's methods were unorthodox, even bold. But in all, Daryl's efforts inspired dozens to renounce their affiliations to the Klan and other hate organizations. And through all his work, two constants held true: dialogue and understanding.
Daryl planted the first seed. For me, Daryl planted the very first seed that helped me to be able to see what I was doing was wrong. Conversations are reciprocal, even with radical extremists, and that's where changes can be made, and Daryl is a master at it.
In a world that seems to be saying somehow friendship and compassion and empathy are soft skills, Daryl exemplifies that it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to be compassionate, and the work that he does changes lives.
He's just fearless in general in life. I think a lot of that is part of being a performer. He's an amazing musician. He's played on stage with every legend of rock and roll you could imagine. And you gotta be fearless to do that. That fearlessness is like contagious. You're like inspired by it. You kind of pick up some of it and you wanna carry it forward as well.
When you see me in the media, it will say something, black musician converts X number of KKK people or white supremacists. No, that's not true. I didn't convert anybody. I didn't even convert one. But I will say this, I have been the impetus for over 200 to convert themselves. And that's a result of having this dialogue. Whether we are an organization, such as the Simon Wiesenthal Center, or we're an individual, don't think one person cannot make change. I'm not a sociologist or a psychologist. I'm just a rock and roll piano player. But if I can do this and make change and make differences, anybody can do it.